you will all be studying operations management. I am here to teach you this subject. Now, the operations manager is in practice is a common sense manager. All the things that is required for production, marketing, finance, everything is the job of a operations manager. I request you, don't learn by rote. You don't have to do very good result in operations management. But if you really understand it, and you will develop a common sense, and that common sense will help you become big in life, whether you are doing a job or you are doing entrepreneurship. I'll request all of you, please attentively hear that. You don't have to make note or don't have to do very well in exam. But if you understand everything, if you attentively hear these lectures, I am sure in life you will be successful. Because operations manager in practice is a general manager for all the subjects. All the part of management, it's giving little things, and that way operations management, in my opinion, is the most easy and most interesting subject of management. I'll show you the list of the subjects that will be covered in these lectures. Please kindly be attentive, try to understand. You don't have to take note, and don't try to be a very good student and get a great marks about it. I am not interested in that. I want you to understand that इसको अपना लेने का है, अपनाओ इसको, अपनाओ. That is, you own it. Okay? Thank you. Now, I have told you about the plan of our journey about operations management. How do you like it? Now, I'll tell you certain things what will encourage you to find a way of life and be great. I want you to do great things. First thing I tell you, don't be very studious. Take part in all the institute related activities like seminars, events, etc., etc. And also try to be a entrepreneur. I'll tell you the story of Elon Musk. He had a struggled childhood. He is from East European countries. From there, he immigrated to Canada. Later on, he was selected in Stanford University in California to pursue a PhD in energy physics. However, his move was timed perfectly with the internet boom that came during those times. He dropped out of Stanford University just after 2 days of being part of it and launched his first company in 1995. He couldn't find success. He started 2-3 companies and he found he is not making profit. Then he started PayPal, and there he made a very good money in stock exchange. He sold the company and bought Tesla electric motor car company. Today he is worth $160 billion. I'll tell you another story. See, you must have vision and courage, and anybody can have that. The Walt Disney is the highest grossing media conglomerate in the world, and it all started in 1923 in a one-car garage that even belonged to Walt Disney's uncle, Robert Disney. When first Disneyland was established in Florida, before the Disneyland was complete and ready for public entry, he died. The general manager and his secretary was standing at the gate of the Disneyland to welcome the chief guest, president, etc. Then the secretary told the general manager, "Sir, it's so sad. Today Mr. Walt Disney is not amongst us. He couldn't see anything that we have done today." General manager said, "You are wrong. Mr. Walt Disney saw all that is there today here. And because he had the vision, he saw everything, and because of that, you and I are standing here today." This is the story of Walt Disney's vision. I'll tell you the story of Jeff Bezos. He is a courageous and risk-taking person, but failed in business venture one after another. He was working in a bank he left that, and in 1993 Bezos decided to establish an online bookstore in the name of Amazon in his own garage on 5th July 1994. You know the story of Amazon. Today he is worth more than $200 billion. I will be telling about another person. His name is Mr. Richard Branson. You must be knowing that he was the first person to go to space as a passenger. Branson is a dreamer and risk-taking person. He designed a parachute, and he himself jumped from 100th floor in his designed parachute to prove that his parachute is good. Many times he jumped from bridges to dive into the water of the river flowing under the bridge. He is a very risk-taking person. He is worth 490 crores of USD. Richard Branson, many people say that while so many people are dying of pandemic and all, there he has gone to the space and spent so much of money. I like to tell you what is Richard Branson intelligence and vision and the courage. Once his family was on a Friday going to a Atlantic, some island of Atlantic Ocean, and the last moment the aircraft company said they are cancelling the flight because of the technical snag. All the people who are going there, they booked hotels and all that, and they thought they will enjoy the Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday and Monday morning. They will come back. All the money and all the charm there, they all imagined has gone. So everybody was shouting and all that. Pandemonium started there. But Richard Branson, he have not done any shouting or anything. He just gone to a telephone, and from there he gave a ring to a chartered aircraft company and said that I want to charter a 200-seat aircraft immediately in this particular airport. How much you will charge? They said this is how much you will charge. He said, you please send it. He didn't have money. But what he did, he had gone to the public, that travelers, and said that I have arranged a chartered flight of 200 seats, and with that we can go to this island of our destination, but you have to all give the money that you have paid to the airlines for buying the ticket. Now everybody thought that instead of losing all the money and the fun and all, they all agreed to give the money, and the airlines in the meantime arranged to refund all the money that they are charged for the trip. So all the people, instead of airlines X, they are going to the chartered flight and paid to the Branson. Branson found he is making good profit out of that, and his ticket is completely, his family's ticket is completely free. Then he flew, and he decided that if this is the, airlines, then why not I start an airlines? Then he started an airlines. His name of the company was Virgin, and he was going to Atlantic Ocean with an island, so he kept the name Virgin Atlantic. And this is how the Virgin Atlantic Airlines started. He first took only some charter flight or leased people and all that, but he arranged and managed the whole thing. He was a very good operations manager. So, and many people say that why he has wasted so much of money for 11 minutes of space flight and few crores of dollars has gone down the drain, he should have given to charity. I like to ask you, have you given anything to charity? Ask all your teachers, has they sacrificed their 1 month's salary? Has anybody paid 10,000 rupees? We are telling him to do something, but ask yourself, ask your own father, ask your own mother, how much you have done for that, the pandemic people suffering. You will find none. So let us not talk about that. Let us only know that as an operations manager, how successful is Branson. There is another thing why Branson has done it. Branson, almost all companies are in travel trade or in service trade. Because of the pandemic, all his companies are doing very bad. Flights are stopped, the service sectors are stopped, hotels are stopped. So the Virgin Atlantic share has gone down. $100 share has become $20, $23. By doing this, one stroke, his share has jumped to $300. That means the company which is losing almost on the bankruptcy has again became very, very successful company. This I want you to appreciate as a operations manager. I'll tell you another story about Mr. Donald Trump. You know, Mr. Donald Trump was president of USA. He started with $10,000. Today he is the biggest real estate owner of the world. He has very unconventional methods. I am not going into that. But one thing he said, which I like to share with you. He said, whether you fall in love or you get married through negotiation and all that, do two things before marriage. One, make a contract with your would-be spouse that in case, God forbid, in case there is a divorce, what will be the settlement? Make it there. Because out of 100, there will be 4 or 5 cases will be there where divorce will be there, because it is happening throughout the world. And during divorce, the bitterness is so much that life is spoilt, and you go to the court, they take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So 20 years of your life is spoilt, your all wealth goes, your health goes, everything goes. Life becomes absolutely poisonous. So before marriage, make a contract that, God forbid, in case we decide to part company, this will be the settlement. This boy will get this, girl will get this, and register it in the court, because without registration this contract has no value. Second thing he said, before marriage, whether love marriage or arranged marriage, you must get medical checkup, thorough medical checkup of the girl and the boy. And I believe this is a must, and I'll recommend all of you to do this, because many cases are there. That is the main reason for divorce, is the medical problem from boy's side, from girl's side. Okay, so these are all I told you the American and British stories. Now I like to tell you some story about Indian cases. As a operations manager, you must understand these matters. You have heard it, the SR Steel of Ruiz, they defaulted bank loan of 49,000 crores, and recovery bank was only 39,000 crores. And how? Mr. Lakshmi Mittal's Arcelor Steel purchased the company, right? The country has lost 10,000 crores. There is no halla-gulla about it. There is another case. Bhushan Power and Steel of Singles, loan default was 40,000 crores. JSW Steel paid Indian rupees 19,350 crores to creditors of Bhushan Steel and acquired completely Bhushan's all companies. Bhushan is a free man, but country has lost over 20,000 crores. Another case, Electro Steel Casting had a loan default of Indian rupees 10,273 crores and settled for payment of Indian rupees 5,300 crores under insolvency and bankruptcy code. Have you heard any halla-gulla about it? No. Mr. Vijay Mallya's loan default was only rupees 9,000 crores, and that too with interest. His actual loan is about little less than 6,000 crores, but with interest it has become 9,000 crores. Much less than all the other people. Bank already has recovered Indian rupees 5,800 crores from sale of United Breweries shares of Mr. Mallya. However, Mr. Vijay Mallya is currently the most hated businessman in India. Why? Mallya is always seen with Bollywood celebrities spending fortune in various events, yachts, while not paying salaries to Kingfisher employees, which has caused public sentiment and media turning against him. Government has already recovered Indian rupees 11,500 crores worth property of Mr. Vijay Mallya. Mr. Vijay Mallya's loan default was only rupees 9,000 crores along with interest. This shows, you must note, that being flamboyant and showing off your fortune makes you lose a fortune. Declare closure when you cannot make profit. Do not wait. See, his Kingfisher was making loss. But he thought, I am Mr. Vijay Mallya, son of the owner of United Breweries, I'll somehow manage. But he depended on his managers who misguided him. And he didn't declare closure. So he was legally bound to pay all the salaries and benefits to his employees. If he had declared closure within 3 months, then his liability would be only to pay for 3 months of salaries and benefits to his employees. That's all. But he didn't declare closure. He always thought, somehow I will manage. He couldn't manage. So, as a operations manager, I'll request you, whenever your company or whenever your venture is making loss, you must declare closure. Don't wait. These are the few things I thought I'll tell you about the operations management. And all the things that the stories I have said, case studies I have discussed, please take it seriously. In my other lectures, total I think I'll be giving about 18 lectures, I'll request all of you to be very attentive and try to grasp what I am telling. Don't learn it by rote. Don't try to make very great result in exam. You see, there are 2 types of managers. One who does research work and one who does field work. 90% of you will be doing field work. And those who will be doing field work, they should have courage, they should have common sense, they must be very good talker, they must know how to make friends out of people and never do any show off of anything, be honest. Your all colleagues must understand that when you are telling something, you are telling the truth. That is very important. Don't be partial to anybody. If you are impartial, honest person, even if you make some mistake, people will forget it. But if you try to be over smart and try to show off, then of course you will not be spared. I hope you will enjoy the coming lectures, which I will be trying to make it as interesting as possible. Thank you. Thank you very much.